Breaking news! The week has started off busy for the Eagles. The 2025 NFL Draft is approaching, and Howie Roseman is on the lookout to make the best possible choices. I'll tell you everything that's happening right now. Let's analyze and get into what could increase the Eagles' chances of winning the Super Bowl again. The energy is still electric from that unforgettable night. Just thinking about it makes my green and white heart beat faster. But, as always, we need to leave the past aside for a bit and look to the future. I believe with all my heart that we will reach Super Bowl 60. If you also believe that the Eagles will reach the Super Bowl again, hit the like button hard. If possible, write something like, "Go Eagles." I believe. Now let's get straight to the point. One of the most significant rumors making waves right now involves none other than Dallas Goedert. Yes, there's legitimate buzz about the Eagles potentially trading or even releasing their star tight end. Why? It all comes down to cap space and value. Goedert is expected to have a cap hit in the $11 to $13 million range for next season. That's a big investment at a position where the Eagles may be looking for a younger, cheaper option with a high ceiling. And that's when Tyler Warren's name starts to echo around the halls of the NovaCare complex. Tyler Warren out of Penn State isn't just any tight end prospect. He's drawing comparisons to some of the most versatile and hard-nosed players we've seen in recent memory. Think of the physicality of George Kittle, the body type of Rob Gronkowski, and the utility of a Swiss Army knife. During his time at Penn State, Warren lined up everywhere. Wildcat quarterback, center, fullback, H-back, wide receiver, and out wide. That's unheard of for a tight end. And he didn't just line up, he produced. This is a guy who runs angry, picks up yards after the catch, and brings a violent energy that screams, Philly football! If there's any chance Warren slips out of the top 20, there's serious chatter about Howie Roseman making a move to jump up from pick 32 to snag him. Think about that. Packaging 32 and possibly a future first or second to go get a guy they believe could be one of the league's best tight ends by year one. A 5-year cost-controlled contract with 5th-year option? That's exactly the kind of long-term strategic thinking this front office thrives on. And if Goedert's future really is in question, Warren would be a seamless transition that keeps the offense dynamic without the price tag. But that's not the only draft buzz circulating. If we stay at 32, Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss is a name to watch. The defensive tackle was once the number 1, first overall recruit in the country coming out of high school and plays with that kind of pedigree. He's explosive, violent at the line of scrimmage, and has that relentless motor that every Eagles fan loves. While he needs to refine his pass rush moves, his ability to beat interior linemen with quickness makes him a tantalizing fit next to Jalen Carter on that defensive front. Think Milton Williams-type traits, but potentially more juice and upside. Let's not forget about Mororo Jomo, who the coaching staff clearly has big plans for. With Milton Williams out the door, Jomo looks like the heir apparent, and his 82.6 pass rush grade last season ranked 5th among all interior defensive linemen. That's no joke. He logged 26 hurries and 31 pressures on just 268 pass rush snaps. Imagine what he could do with 500-plus snaps. The Eagles believe in his growth, and they have him under contract for 2 more years. Value, youth, and upside. That's the formula. Then there's the secondary, another area the front office is clearly evaluating. Justin Simmons, the veteran safety and former Vic Fangio disciple, is rumored to be high on the Eagles' list. He's not the all-pro he once was, but he brings smarts, scheme familiarity, and leadership. And best of all, he won't break the bank. Fangio knows him. Christian Parker, now with the Eagles, coached him. Simmons even publicly acknowledged that Philly is one of his top destinations. That could be a massive addition for a team still figuring out its long-term plans at safety. Julian Blackmon is another name floated, and with guys like Reed Blankenship, Sidney Brown, and Tristan McCollum already on the roster, adding a veteran to the mix without spending big could give the Eagles the flexibility they need. They've also shown interest in Malachi Moore from Alabama, whom they met with formally at the Combine. That says a lot about their draft intentions. Even if a veteran is signed, a safety could still be in play early in the draft. At the wide receiver spot, don't expect much action unless it's late in the draft. The Eagles already have A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith locked in, plus young depth pieces like Johnny Wilson and Anaya Smith. This year's receiver class is thinner than usual, so if they do take a flyer, it'll likely be a late-round gamble on upside.
Now, all of this still revolves around a simple question. What are the Eagles' biggest needs heading into 2025? Defensive tackle? Tight end? Safety? The draft strategy will tell us everything we need to know about how Howie sees this roster's future. One thing's for sure, the front office isn't afraid to be aggressive when they see a player that fits the identity of this team. So, what do you think, Eagles fans? Should the Birds trade Dallas Goedert and move up for Tyler Warren? Is Walter Nolan the next great DT for Philly? Would you like to see Justin Simmons in midnight green? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear everything. Let's keep this conversation going as we inch closer to another critical draft for a team that's not just chasing another Super Bowl, they're building a dynasty. Let's dig even deeper into the potential implications of these moves and what they say about the identity and future direction of the Eagles. Because this isn't just about swapping players or shuffling the depth chart. This is about Howie Roseman once again staying 2 steps ahead of the league and positioning this team for sustained dominance. If you're paying attention, there are some seriously strategic moves in motion here. Let's circle back to the tight end situation. If Dallas Goedert is moved, and again, this is still in the realm of speculation, but rooted in financial and roster logic, it wouldn't just be about saving money. It would be a calculated move to reshape the offense around Jalen Hurts' evolving strengths. We saw in the Super Bowl run how the offense thrived by spreading the ball, utilizing versatile weapons, and letting Hurts command the field with poise. In Tyler Warren, with his rare ability to line up at multiple positions and create mismatches, fits perfectly into that philosophy. He wouldn't just be a tight end, he'd be a chess piece. And when you've got an MVP-caliber quarterback surrounding him with high IQ, versatile weapons is how you maximize his window. But again, trading up to get a guy like Warren is no small thing. That's a major investment. So, what does that tell us? It tells us that the Eagles might see this 2025 draft as the moment to retool and reload around a young, hungry core. It's not a rebuild by any stretch. This is a reload with championship experience already in the locker room. Look at the guys already locked up. Hurts, A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Jalen Carter. If you add someone like Warren, you're laying down the next brick in a foundation that's built to last for years. Meanwhile, on the defensive side, Walter Nolan is one of those players who could fall just enough to be a perfect value pick at 32, or be worth trading up slightly if he starts sliding. He brings violent explosiveness at the line and plays with a chip on his shoulder. Pairing him with Jalen Carter could be devastating for offensive lines. And if Maroro Jomo continues his upward trajectory, suddenly you've got a D-line rotation that goes from great to elite overnight. That's the kind of positional strength that wins you playoff games and championships. And let's not underestimate how big it would be to bring in a veteran like Justin Simmons in the secondary. He's not the player he was during his All-Pro years, but his leadership, intelligence, and comfort in Vic Fangio's system could elevate the entire back end of the defense. So, as we get closer to the draft, the strategy is starting to come into focus. It's about targeting value, investing in positional strength, and preparing for the long haul. The Birds aren't just looking to defend their Super Bowl crown, they're laying the groundwork for another one. But now, we turn it over to you. How do you feel about potentially trading Dallas Goedert? Would you move up to get Tyler Warren? Do you see Walter Nolan as the next interior beast next to Jalen Carter? And how are you feeling about the idea of adding a vet like Justin Simmons or Julian Blackmon to this new-look secondary? Let us know in the comments. What should be the Eagles' top priority heading into the draft? What would you do if you were Howie? And what would be your dream outcome when draft night rolls around? Sound off? This is your team, your moment, and your voice matters. Let's go, Eagles.